everybody, it's Kat from Creative Crafts. Today's DIY is going to be making a wreath out of a coat hanger, so if you would like to see further, stay tuned. So on this project you're going to need a coat hanger, you're going to need ribbon, wire, kind of decorations. I have these little hats, of course flowers. The ones I suggest that you use is the ones that have like a long line like this, you know, something like this. You need the hot glue gun and hot glue. So these are the things that you need to do. So let's get started. The first thing you need to do is make sure the ribbon that you pick for springtime or something like this, and you're using flowers, I suggest you use like a dark green color like I have here. Mine came in a form like this. It wasn't in a roll, so I'm rolling mine up so it'll be easier to roll it around. We're going to be using the glue glove, can't speak today. We're going to use the glue gun. When you use the hot glue gun, please be careful because you can burn your fingers. It can be very hot. So the first thing is, like I said, you need to make your coat hanger round. If you're not strong enough with your hands and you have arthritis, or your hands, you just can't work well with your hands, I suggest you get needle-nose pliers and try to bend the coat hanger as round as possible as you can. This is what I did here. So there we go. This is what I did. It's almost perfect. It will look even better once I put the flowers and everything on it. It will look great. So what you need to do now is do this. What do you call it? So what we need to do now is glue this ribbon onto the coat hanger. So I suggest that we start at the tip here first. So I suggest that you start putting the ribbon around the top of the neck area where it's going to be hanging from. What you could do is, now you glued it there a little bit. And here I go again, trying to make this perfect. I would suggest that you make this into like a hook. So, and what I would do is put some glue in that area right there so you know that it wasn't moved. You can fix the shape of it, or if you want, I would just do this. So what you do now is take your ribbon, now that it's cooled, and pull tight. Pull tight on it so that it's not too loose. What you need to do now is put a little glue here right at the edge where you're going to twist and then turn over. So twist and then turn over. And then you just keep going around and around until you get the whole thing. Make sure you try to do it as neat as possible. Try not to be sloppy. If you want to make it as a gift, I would suggest that you do it very neatly. And just keep going around. If you can find this tape, they have tape that you can use for when you make real flowers at the flower shop, this green color tape. This would be perfect if you use that. That would be easier and faster to wrap around it. But because I'm not using flowers around the whole thing, I suggest that you do the ribbon, because then it will look better. So let's do this, and then we get to the next step after we wrap the whole thing with the ribbon, nice and carefully. So everybody, what I did here is, while I was wrapping it, you can see my roll came undone, but that's all right. Each time I went around, I put it closer so you can see, I added a little bit of glue here just on the inside part, not on the outside. And then flip it around so that every so often I had done that like 4 or 5 times. Wrap, tight, hold it tight, put glue on it, and then keep going around until you get to the end. This is what I did. Make sure you hold it with your fingers so that it doesn't move. And just keep going. I'm almost done here, so what I'm going to do now is at the end, I'm going to show you that in a second. Hold on, put some glue here. And then show you in a sec. Why was that going out like that? I don't know. So when you're at the end part, as you see here with mine, what you need to do now is then you take it and then wrap it upwards. So you can wrap it around the top part like that. So it looks like this. So what you need to do now is add some glue on one end, wrap it around again, and hold it until you know that it's cooled, and then you can cut that excess ribbon off. You can go all the way up here, but it doesn't bring anything. I think you just need to do this like this. How nice this looks right now. So what I want to do is I'm going to cut this as short as I can. And I can always add some more glue here on the end, you see here. But I'm going to leave it like that because I was thinking about maybe putting a ribbon up top. So the ribbon will cover that area anyway. As you can see what I did, this is what I did to the ribbon, the wire for the coat hanger, wrapped it all the way around. So the next step is trying to figure out what flowers I want to use and what method. I am going to take my flowers and, not glue, because I'd rather use the wire because glue is just too sloppy. And I made this green so that you don't see the wire in the background. You just see the flowers, as you can see here. This is what I want to do. So I'm going to do this to the white and the blue flowers, try to stick them together and do this. First I need to cut this end off here. So what you're going to do is, I just go all the way up to where, so you just go cut it. I mean everybody, and just keep bend. And it's very easy. So now you have your leaves here, which they look pretty nice. And then you want to just get your wire and slowly wire the back ends of the flower onto your frame here. This is what you want to do. So what you can first, before you do all that, you double check on how you want to have your flowers. So what I'm going to do is, I don't want to have too many flowers on it. So, and maybe I will try to match it, mix and match. Mix these two up together so that somehow, they mix up. So that you see the the blue and the white intertwined with each other. This is what I did. So now, just make sure all the flowers look good. And then you make sure the leaves are sticking out pretty good. And then what I suggest you do is you get some wire and these ends here, connect it together good with the wire. So what you're going to do now is take your wire, just a little bit. Scissors, this kind of wire, the craft wire that you buy, usually you can cut it with scissors without any problems. So what you do is try to do it as neat as possible because you don't want the flower to, what do you call it? You don't want it to look sloppy, so if you put enough on there, just one time connection should be fine. Try to intertwine the wire with the other parts of, like the leaves, if you want the leaves to stick out somehow. Everything has wires on it, so it should look good. So here you see the sticking out like this, and you don't want that, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to stick some wire. Make sure I have the flowers, there you go, connecting correctly. And make sure you connect it on both ends. I'm just going to get a small piece of this one. And I'm just going to add these two together here on these ends here. Make sure you put it in an area where you can't see it. So there you go. Pull the wire down into the area where all the flowers are, so you can't see that wire, and you have your flowers connected, just like what I wanted. The smallest end, or maybe you could do this. You just play with it and see how you want to do it. I think I'm going to go like this. And that would look good. I think maybe I will stick this one on that end. Do that. And then I want to maybe do something like this. Nope, this goes here. And then this goes down here. Yeah, that really look, I think that would look good, like this. And then I was thinking about, I think I'm going to only be able to put 2 of the hearts hanging from here. So this is what I was thinking about doing. As you can see here, this is what I had a big mistake. So I think I'm going to do this. That looks better. With these 2 little hearts, you can use anything else that you want. And now I'm just going to see what kind of ribbon that I have here that would look good with these flowers. I have all kinds of ribbon. I have this one that wouldn't look too good. I think maybe the turquoise. Maybe this one. I think this one would look good with it. So I can add a bow up here or something. I wish I had bigger ribbon. I just have some pink one, and that pink doesn't, maybe, no. This is more like Christmassy. That wouldn't look good. So put that back. Like I said, you need to look around and see exactly what you would like to have. I can use maybe this one, green one. You know, I think that one will look better because here's blue and white, here's green, and then you add green up here. You don't need to do all this. Put it all over, because that's why you covered it for. So if you don't, so no one will see the wire. Once you have that here, you can maybe take some other ribbon. I can take this ribbon then and glue it here when I'm done and wrap it around on one side and then put the big bow here. This is what I can do too. So now let's get started with this. And I have also, I got this, I think it says called Pussy Willow tree. I'm not going to need the whole thing, I don't think. So what I was thinking about, maybe taking pieces like this, cut it, and then add it in. Let's see what it looks like. You don't want to put too much. Too much is not good. This one's going to be a little tough. Going to have to keep bending it. There you go. Alright. So now that I did that, then I can maybe bend it a little bit. And then I was thinking about maybe sticking some in here. You know, just the little pieces, not too much. So now we're going to do that. We're going to add the flowers first. What you're going to do is, you need to start with the bunch that you made and get your wire. Like I said, don't put too much. Start with this small pot. Try to bend the flowers in a circle position so that you know exactly where you want to put it. So I'm going to put this way up here. So I'm going to take my wire and put it over that pot and then look for that area that I need to connect. Here we go. So I got that, and then twist. Like I said, if it's too much for you to twist, use needle nose pliers and that should be fine. So that's one area. And then just keep going until you know this doesn't move anymore. So let's put this, I wanted to put this up further. Let's see if I can do that now. Or maybe you want to put a ribbon there, so we'll keep it down this way. So just twist. I'm going to have to get my needle nose pliers. These are the ones I'm talking about, little needle nose pliers. And then you take it, you take your wire, and then just twist. Keep twisting. I know it looks weird what I'm doing, but if you keep twisting, it's going to have a nice tight connection to it. So now what we need to do is do the next one. Pull this up a little bit. I want to have it on the stem, not on the flower. Come on, go up there. Yeah, both. That's better. So now we make sure we tip it on the opposite side now so we can see where we want to put the wire. So there we go. We have one over here, as you can see. And like I said, you take the wire and then you twist inside towards the flower so that you don't see it even if someone has it in the back. If you want, you can also take maybe a little glue so that doesn't move around anymore. Wait a few minutes until it cools before you do go further. Just cut a couple of pieces of wire off for yourself for the next ones. So about 2 inches maybe, like a little bit less. Some can get smaller, some can be bigger. It's all up to you. I'm just going to need, I think, at least 6 to 8 pieces maybe. So that we know that it's nice and stable. I keep saying fest, and fest is usually, I think fest is German. I'm not really sure. I've been here so long. Like tight. Fest means tight. So here we go. Now we're going to take another from these flowers. You want to try to take the main stem where the flowers are all connected to, and do that part. The top part is not easy because if you usually the top part there is no main stem, so here we go. So go down, and it's pretty much fest up here. So now we need to go again one more further. You don't need so many, believe me. So push it down, hold the stems together. Now you have the 2 stems yet from the both flower stems, both flowers. Take both of the stems on this part and just twist. Hold it tight, the both ends, and make it tight, and there you go. You just need to fold it downwards, and it's tight. Now we need to do this area. So what we're going to do now is this area, we're going to take the wire, and we need a bigger piece for that part. Make a longer one. And you see here, I'm going to take the wire, go around, and then hold it tight, and then try to make it as tight as possible on this end. Like I said, if it's not so tight like you see here, then it's gonna come out like you see here, and you don't want that. So what you're gonna do is make sure it's tight by using the needle nose pliers. Squish the 2 ends together, And like I said, you twist. So, and now the rest, like I said, you take and you stuff in between the flower area so you don't see the wire sticking out anywhere. So this is what you're going to do. Like you see here, you almost don't see it. So here's one area. I think that looks pretty good. So now you can still move the wire around. It shouldn't be a problem. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to add, yeah, that'll be perfect. What I want to do now is add some glue on this part because I'm going to cover this anyway with some ribbon on this end. So I'm just going to let it sit for a minute. And I think it's not rounded. And if I don't want to put ribbon, what I can do is I can also add, put these leaves a little bit downwards. I can cut one off if I want. Don't need them all. And I can just take this piece of the leaf and glue it here, and you don't even see that area. So like here, I'm not done yet. So you're going to add some more wire to this. Cut these wires a little too short. This has also a wire cutter on it, so take that off. Oh, you know what? I'm going to do the end here first. Yeah, that's what I want to do. I want to do this first. Like I said, make sure you only get the main stem where the flower is. Just 1 or 2 times twisting. You don't need to twist too much because then the wire will break. You don't want that. So there you go. Like I said, make sure you fix it so that it's in the wire's in the area where you cannot see it. So the next wire, and then now you go to the next. Move the flowers around. If they're silk flowers like the ones I have, then you have no problem whatsoever with the flowers. So let's, like I said, twist just a few times and then make the wire go underneath so you don't see it from here. And you can move the flowers around so that you cover it up. I wanted to make sure that the flowers are all in front and not in the back. So you can always move them. Like with these here, you can always do that. I wanted the one side here thicker and this one a little thinner, so, and it's pretty much like that. And this is what I wanted to do. So I think that looks pretty good so far. Now we have to tighten this area up, this little area here, so that it's flowing perfectly rounded. So now you're going to take your last bit of these flowers, the little ones, try to put it in an area where you know you can't see the wire. And then, like I said, twist. This is the back end. Like I said, make sure the wire stays in the back end, or try to fix it in the area where you cannot see it. So like I said, if you feel that you don't have enough flowers on it, just add more to it. I only got 3. And I didn't want to have flowers all through the whole thing. I wanted to have some extra, you know, some greens and stuff like that. So now that I have this, you double check it to see if it's rounded like you wanted. So now that I have this here, I'm saying, okay, maybe I can put a ribbon here. Maybe that will look good. Or I can maybe just stick this heart here. That'll probably be a good idea. But I'm going to take this rope off. And then I'm going to just glue the heart here. Maybe not, no, I'm just going to glue the top on top of it like this. And then I had to add something here. As you can see here, maybe I can make a little ribbon on top of that. That will look cool. Well, good, not cool. I can get this off. Now, I'm not going to use that area where I just have this tape is still stuck on it, so I'm just going to cut that right off. And then I'm going to make myself a small little ribbon. A small one for now. Up here. What's so good is that this ribbon has wire on it, so I have to make sure the ribbon is small, but the line is longer. So just play with it. You'll whatever how designs you want, you can do it. So there you go. So I'm going to take this and I'm going to glue this here. Well, maybe that's too, maybe on the bottom. I just don't like that hole from the rope, so I want to try to cover that somehow, but I don't know how I'm going to cover that. Do I have, what do I have? I have some pearls I think I can use. There you go. I have these that I bought. Like I said, I buy a lot of things that when they're on sale are going on. This was only for $1, this little pearl area. So what I'm going to do is, I'm just going to take this and that'll be a good idea. See, I stick some pearls on it like that if you have anything. I'm going to make maybe a little bit of small ones going upwards. Seems not going to stick, so yeah, very tiny bit of hot glue. Seems to tip over all the time. Damn it. That's what happens when you have long fingernails. So I think I'm going to add maybe one more here, and it should be fine. That looks like a nose and 2 eyes. So I'm going to add it's not going to stick. Damn it, the glue's not budging. Like I said, very little bit of glue. You don't want to put too much. Good thing when you have long fingernails. And this is what I'm doing right now for the heart that I want to stick over here. Just get another small one here. Oh, it came off my finger, damn it. Really, you're gonna give me a hard time now, right? There we go. If you want to pick up small objects, you can just wet your finger on the tip and then you'll be able to pick small things up with that. So put this aside. I didn't want to put the ribbon because you can't see the heart, so I decided, okay, you know what, I'm just going to stick stuff like this because I didn't want anyone to see the hole. So now I'm going to put the heart, I think, on top of this leaf. Yeah, that would look good. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to put enough glue so that it'll dribble down. Not too down, let it cool a little bit. And then I want to press down on it. and you're going to have to let it sit for a little bit until it cools so you can see the heart area. So let that cool. And now what I want to do is I want to, you know, glue the string in the back of here. So let's do this. I'm going to use, let's use these wires I cut up. Instead of using my finger. And then I can add a little bit more so it's a little bit stable. And then let that cool. I think I'm going to add that ribbon here. I think that would look cute. I don't want to add it onto the heart, but add it there. So far you can see what I did here. I shouldn't have moved it, I should have waited until it was cooled. So now we want to, like I said, fix the flowers in the positions that you want. And then I have this here, like I said. As you can see what I did here. I think that looks cute so far. You can add anything you want. I'm going to wait until this is completely dry before I hang it on there. So now what I want to do is I was debating if I should take some of this and then wrap it around the sides so it matched with that, or maybe just make a big ribbon. So I'm debating what I should do because I don't want to put too much. So yeah, that's nice and tight. This still needs a little bit more glue. I'm going to have to add it to this area here. It shouldn't take you very long making this project, so I have so many nice things here that I could use for ideas. I have wooden letters which I can spell out welcome if I want, but I just decided that I wanted to have something like springy. So what I was thinking, yeah, that's nice and hot now. So now that we have that here like this, I want to stick this. You have the string. Make sure you twist it around so that it's, there you go, like that. Okay, I just think it wants to do whatever it wants. So what I'm going to have to do now is, once it's against the door, you can see how it is. If you want to have like more bling or something else in this area, you can use these little stickers here with the diamonds on it. You can use those too. But I just wanted to have it more country style. So what I'm going to do now is, I think what I can do here is, I'm going to make a, I cut a piece off like this, and normally this is supposed to be one big long string, and I can add these little stuff on these ends here, and it has sticky paper on it, so we can make another one. And take that off, and then we can do that like this. See how nice that looks? So what we can do there. What we can also do now is maybe stick something on the back of here. Not sure what. But no one's going to see it because once it's against the door, you're not going to see it. So I hope this project helps you in some way. for me it was fun, and I just wanted to make something quick and easy so you guys can make something nice. I'm going to put something underneath here so you can see it, so that's completely dark. Let me get a piece of paper or something like that, cardboard. Well, I can try this. I don't know if you're going to want to use this, but I have this. I painted this one time. This is a painting. What we could do is, I'm going to do it like this. So you can see what it looks like when it's hanging on the door. I think that will look so awesome when it's hanging up. And this is basically what I wanted to do. So let me make a close-up for you. There you go. And this is what it's going to look like. Move my chair. When it's hanging on the door. Have this all like this. You can put your initials on it if you want. You can use a permanent marker. You can do so many things with the wreath. And I'm also going to make a broom with decorations on it, with flowers like this, to bring luck and good health and good wealth in your home. And you always keep it on the side of your door, so that it keeps all evil away. There's all kinds of nice things you can do with a broom. So that will be the next DIY. I hope you enjoyed this. Give it the thumbs up. And if you like, you can follow me on Instagram, Pinterest, and Facebook. These three you can follow me. And then you have this. I have Twitter also. I can also put a link onto that on the comment sections. Please like I said, and comment below. If you have any suggestions or ideas, or if I missed out something, please let me know. Like I said, what you need to do is work with the flowers so that all the flowers are in the front and none in the back. So you have to do that. So hope you enjoyed it, and I'll see you on the next video. Bye!